This is how to solve quadratic equations using completing of squares. First of all, quadratic equations are in the form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, where the a, b, and c are all constant, meaning they are numbers. So this means that comparing this quadratic equation to the question, the coefficient of x squared in the question is 1 and that of b is 6, and also the constant, which is c, is 5. Now, to begin with the completing of squares, the first thing you always have to look for is to make sure that the coefficient of x squared is always 1. If it is not 1 or greater than 1 or less than 1 but not 0, it means that we first of all have to divide through every equation by the coefficient of x squared. But in the question, we already have the coefficient of x squared as 1, so it means that we can proceed. So we have x squared plus 6x plus 5 equals 0. The next step is for us to make sure that the constant, which is c, crosses the equal to sign to the other side of the equation. So we are going to move positive 5 to this side, making it negative 5. This means that we now have x squared plus 6x equals negative 5. The moment we are done with this step, our next step is to make sure that we this expression as a perfect expression or a perfect number. So we are going to write this expression as a perfect expression. And to do that, we always have to divide the coefficient of x by 2, then we square both sides. We square each term, then add it to both sides of the equation. This is how we do it. So the coefficient of x is 6, right? And this will be multiplied by half or will be divided by 2, and we are getting 3. Now after getting this 3, what we are going to do is to square the result. So we have 3 squared, and this is the expression we are going to add to both sides of the equation. So we are getting x squared plus 6x plus 3 squared equals negative 5 plus 3 squared. The reason you always have to put it in brackets and square it is because sometimes after dividing by 2 or multiplying by half, you'll be getting a negative number. When that happens and you put it in bracket, it makes the calculation simpler and easier. And also you realize that we've done nothing to this expression because we know that 3 squared is 9, and also we have 9 here. If we should move this 9 to this side, it means that we're going to have 9 minus 9, which will be 0, and we will be back to this equation, meaning we've done nothing to this equation, but we've added and subtracted something at the same time. Now, every time or anytime you reach this part, that is, you reach this part, it means that the expression you're having here is a perfect expression, meaning we can write it as x plus all squared, and this is also going to give us negative 5 plus 9. So you realize that anytime you expand this equation, you are going to get this expression again and see something. So let's do that here and see something. So we have x squared. We are trying to expand to this bracket. We will get x squared plus 6x plus 9, and that is the same as this expression where we have 3 squared, which is the same as 9. So anytime you are able to resolve it into this form, your next expression is going to be a perfect expression. So we can now continue from here. So now we have x plus 3 all squared equals negative 5 plus 9 gives us 4. And we are now having this expression as x plus 3 all squared equals 4. Now at this point, we are going to take the square root on both sides, and that is going to be like this. And anytime you take the square root on both sides, the other side of the equation is going to yield two values. So we usually write it as plus or minus square root of 4. It's all because of this. So this means that the square means that we must be getting two values of x. Since we are looking for x, anytime we take the square root, we have to bring the plus or minus sign. And this is going to give us plus or minus 2. So there's no 2 here. So we now have a simple expression which is x plus 3, which is equal to plus or minus 2. After reaching this point, we are going to look at this procedure in two ways, where we have positive 2 and also where we have negative 2. So for the first part, we are going to say that x plus 3 is equal to the positive 2, and we will be getting x equals 2 minus 3. So it means that x1 is equal to negative 1. And the last step is going to be when we have x plus 3 equals negative 2. So x plus 3 equals negative 2 minus 3. So it means that we've moved the negative 3 to the other side of the equation. And we are getting x is equal to negative 5. So our x2 is negative 5. So now the values of x is negative 1 and also negative 5. So this is how to use the method of completing squares to find the root of quadratic equation. Thank you for watching.